Hi. Um, as I'm still documenting just sort of what's happening during this lunar eclipse phase, today is the 16th of September. Hold on. I'm on my phone and I can't see. Nope, it's 17th, Wednesday the 17th. It's the morning. I am going to take my glasses off because they're just going to fog up. And I'm still just sort of documenting what is coming out of me during this because I've been very intentional with. Okay, others are saying that this is a significant time. Knew that there was specifically dated, astrologically merited based things, and so been just recording and documenting. Not every video that's come out is what I've recorded. I've recorded some other things that once I watch it back, I'm like, oh, wow, very private. Okay. I know, right? You've seen the other videos. Like, you're like, really? There's things that you don't say or you don't show the world? Yeah, actually. Because this is a because I'm kind of doing science, right? My whole thing is rainbow love science. On Substack, I call my readers consciousness explorers, and there's just a litany of things that have been channel written. And if you don't believe that, like, just look at the content from the different Substacks, like the physics of light language. Each one is kind of its own like lecture, you could say, right? Like it's my version of school. Like, here's what I brought back from the other side about quantum physics, conversation, potential topics. I don't feel like getting into most of it or like talking more about it, like at least in writing, right? But it's there. Do you want to take it and do something with it? Because that's kind of what I am. I'm a professional previewer when it comes to YouTube. It's part of why I don't finish stories. Like I go, like you can map it, right? I go off into tangents and I don't finish them. That's annoying. Honestly, I don't love it. Like, I watch it and I'm like, girl, finish a fucking sentence or finish a thought. I'm in channel changer mode intentionally, kind of trying to seed the field with what it is you, the viewer, any viewer, would want. I am my first viewer because this is documentation for me first to experiment with what is a solar, like, not as what is a solar eclipse, but what is a lunar phase eclipse, because I am clearly tied to the moon. And I'm still figuring out what that means because I don't have much context for that. And I'm in this phase of just exploration where I'm trying to be as double blind as I can with my own questions and my own capacity. So I actually do have like blinders on intentionally that I even remember setting during different things that I've sort of done. But because I'm trying to document, trying to prove, trying to show, trying to provide context for, because literally so many examples in my life of personal friends from a long time, institutional professionals, and then a whole lot of other people who thought the opposite. Like, I've actually literally had more people in my life since last year who have thought what I can do is awe-inspiring and is helpful and is insightful and is, you're not supposed to be able to read the Akashic Records that quickly. I mean, kind of. But also, you don't have no clue what the fuck I took to get here. Like, I'm one of those lived experience awakened people here for my embodied mastery lifetime. And I did it in a collective way before the death part even happened. So before the NDE, right? Like, which, you know, NDEs are moments where you just don't get to be who you were before. Because you chose to come back in, and you chose to come back in. You change some things when you come back in, right? But yeah, you do get to spend time not here. And that does change how you are and how you present to the world. And when everything comes out of me prior to last March, it actually comes out as an encoded in a different way memory, because our memories have metadata on them. The Akashic Records is the metadata of our lived experiences. And when you know what to look for, or you know what you're pulling out, or you just know what to pay attention to when it comes out, or you're like me and you cannot stop with the fucking questions, because you're just one of those people. One of those people. I literally feel safer talking to a camera and then putting it online because my guides are like, girl, go for it. I'm like, in this climate, they're like, mm-hmm. Like, really? You really think anyone in the world is going to give a shit about rainbow love science right now? And it's like, I mean, maybe. Like, not everybody is just like, scared. It's just been your experience in life. And also, you keep focusing on all the people who hurt you, and you are not paying any attention to the hundreds of people that you have been paying attention to and providing Akashic Record readings for and having fun with and learning about things with. And yeah, because humans have a bias toward what is hurting, especially right now. My God, I avoid the news. I've become a bad fan of things that I've been a fan of for a very long time. I basically sent like a goodbye present to corrections because I was like, I can't even with you anymore. I can't. I take in this content and everything in my body goes, I just need to turn off all the political shit for a while. I need to reset. It's almost like a cleanse, right? Like, I'm sort of in this wanting to reset myself, and I'm just tuning into it with this lunar cycle because of how connected in to phases and just like not like look at the moon and then this is how I feel because I'm a werewolf type, right? But like the constellations that we come in with when you get formed, it is just this is where you start. But here's the thing, and this is why astrology has always really kind of been a like thing that's not pleasant for me, because everyone thinks it's only when you were literally physically born. And there is merit to that because your whole body did come in and come online and blah. But it's like we forget about the fact that there's internal headquarters that also can get born. You go through a birthing process. It's not really birthing like the same way the body is, but there is still the beginning process. An Akashic record begins if you create a new internal you. And you might not know the date and time of that. You can go like get it, but honestly, like given how some of the timeline stuff is happening lately, I'm finding that the metadata from memories, and just the fact that there's a lot of co-pilots when you're a collective being, there's just a lot of co-pilots. So like a lot of, okay, not only do you just have co-pilots like all the time, never alone, but because every single one of them has a different template from a different lived experience, where you're kind of dealing with a templated being who's lived life because the now moment is still like happening, right? And they do have a different natal like constellation-y thing, and that all influences you, and it influences the capacity for perception. So any given memory has the metadata for like a variety pack of perceptions on the events, and depending on where in the reality creation spectrum of things, where low vibration is like all the bad shit, the trauma shit, the like it's all gonna be bad that you create going forward, and everything up here is love, expansion, manifesting like dreams and stuff, right? It's that we're just gonna pretend that there's something here, right? And the whole process of evolution is creating more of a resonance that kicks out the creation potentials of the really low vibration shit, in resonance and harmony with the fact that a new harmony has formed. And so to do that, you just shake out the stuff that doesn't work. That happens on an internal field too, and you end up having to kind of shake out the headquartered individuals. They have to basically find their exit points in your continued lived experience as a collective you, or as an individual you, once that collective has to like move. If you didn't come in for the ascended mastery path like I did, I don't think that you have to do that. I think you can just keep going as a collective being. It worked really well for us for a number of years. We collectively got to self-love harmony while holding on to Gun, who was our suicidal part. Yeah, Gun was like, I can feel it. And I don't really feel like, killing the body. Wow. That's where he got to. We managed to get him there. Managed to do it. Managed to fucking do it. But when you have still all of the trauma memories that you haven't pulled up and let go of, And not necessarily like the headquarters has to like shut down and that person has to find their exit, but it would appear that group self-love harmony, it just creates one of these in the body. And if the body has been through, a lifetime of lots and too much stress, full lifetime of severe obesity, definitely, and lost 200 pounds in 2 years. So unhealthy, right? And not with surgery, just with asking for help, begging for help, and having a new altar formed from a templated person. And using that template as the perspective, because that's all you really need. You get like, it's like a hologram, kind of like you can get a new perspective pulled in. But because it's just identity formation, because you started doing that in childhood, you end up creating a new you. And though, like, there has to just be a level of, does this continue or does this exit? And yeah, all of our parts had to exit. But I say that because when you pull in a template from someone else, when you're creating someone that you're doing completely unconsciously, it's what the body and the brain do, and your higher self does, I guess, without your conscious awareness, basically, until you start to get to know what's happening inside. And then, yeah, you can tell if someone new has shown up. That's how I got here. That was okay. So they got into group harmony, and then they were like, all right, y'all ready? We're going to do the same thing they did to Jesus, because he was a collective being, right? He was like the first collective being for our timeline. And then just because of like the way that trauma stuff happens, the body was like, you know what? In the human experience, this whole collective thing has happened before. So for the sake of like taking care of it, I'll look at that collective being. Hey, there we go. Worked for one human, right? It can totally work for others. I don't think we like got there as a group until more recently in like humanity's history, because you have to have self-love and you have to have brain capacity in order to be a collective being. Like, my intel says Yeshua had autism spectrum, like brain function, right? Because that was also part of the seeding. Because the collectiveness of him was not in a DID way. The collectiveness of him was in a channeled way. But he was collective of group soul put together to create a new. Basically, that's my understanding. By who? By like the everywhere, because it was sort of one of those, well, we can all see the everything, and the whole human experience, like, yeah, it goes good, it goes bad, but it like, at a point, it just becomes like a nothing, right? Like, shit, we can see all these ways in which it becomes a nothing, because these, we go through these different cycles, and you just see it happening again and again, right? So you're up there in heaven, and you're just like, how do we fix this, right? Like, how do we like, there's another cycle coming. How do we just like figure this shit out? Because it's like, yes, all time is now. And though there's a level of continuation that us as source, we don't even know, because we're creating it through this experience of being a human. That's why we came here. That's why we did the dense thing to come here and do the human thing and experience what decisions through time create for us, especially who we're listening to when we make those decisions, where we're listening to, and how it all kind of coalesces, right? I wasn't really intending for this to be like some sort of educational lesson with Charlie after she got home from her walk with dogs. Yeah, I had songs in my head when I woke up. I just heard, oh, don't worry, we'll be singing. Cool. Welcome to another, how long is this going to be? It's already 13 minutes. Cool. Yeah. Well, you already knew how long this was going to be when you chose it. I get tricked. I get told like, oh, we just got one song, Charlie. You just want to do one song, and then we play it, and I play it together, and I'm like, oh, music for my video game? Yeah, I love it. And then I get on camera and I say stuff, and everything inside of me goes, how many people am I going to piss off with this? Because it's a lot. But also, to be completely honest with you, I kind of feel a little bit like a tattletale of a channeler, because like, I have stakes in this. I do, but like, once you've died, singing on camera and just sort of like talking about the things that you channel through in a video that you do not do the YouTuber levels of care with. I don't do a thumbnail on here. I let the AI pick it. And honestly, sometimes it picks the ones and I'm like, respect. All right. I have changed it before. I've seen it and been like, I like this one better because I give you like 3 little options. And YouTube's done that for a very long time. I think it's kind of funny actually that they're like, we use AI for this. I'm like, do you? Or do you just call it that and it's still the same algorithm that you used to do? Because they've had it before AI started. And YouTubers used to do this shit. They used to just put it out. All of them did. They were all bad. Or not bad, but they were all just, yay, we can make things on YouTube, and none of us really know what we're doing or how to edit or had all these like extra things. You basically have to be a production company now in order to make, I don't want to say a living on YouTube, but let's be honest, a living on YouTube, you have to build so many skills, and if you're doing it as a hobby, especially now, it's harder, right? There's more saturated, more things. That's why I'm just documenting this for myself and feeling into my potentials, which during this particular eclipse season, the more I allow this particular stuff out, the more that, let's be honest, fantasy level of reality just feels more real and more true. And I'm staying completely grounded and skeptical. I'm like, okay, yeah, me. The main one is me, yeah, somehow, literally, somehow, without my doing anything beyond what I've done, which is put a bunch of stuff on Substack and selectively send things to like the corrections PO box. Why would that do anything, right? Like, Seth's not going to use my shit and put it like out there. I'm sure he would take one look at me and be like, yeah, my jackals would destroy her. Probably, but Seth, do you know how many of your jackals are not just dudes that want to destroy people? Most of your jackals are like quiet. If I had to guess, most of your jackals are not people who comment. They're people like me who lay in bed with their husband and we watch corrections despite the fact that we don't watch your show anymore. And he doesn't watch it either at this point. And that's not my doing. It's just, we're both so fucking done with politics. Like, we're done with it. We're tired of talking about it. We already have to see the fucking signs, and I can't understand why people complain about this kind of stuff other than, yeah, you work for corporate overlords and they're like, you must do the thing, blah. But like, honestly, from a quantum physics perspective and disentanglement perspective, I genuinely wonder what would happen if for how many days? 3 are good, a full week, you actually just like only talked about things that you wanted to talk about. And if the only thing you want to talk about is politics, you're addicted to politics, and you're addicted to chaos. You're addicted to, I need to transmute this information to the world. And I think a lot of people like mirror that because they watch it and then they have this like, okay, so you're doing this, so then I'm going to do this. You transmute the bad stuff into funny, I'm going to transmute the bad stuff into funny. But the problem is you're not a comedy writer, right? And you're not doing it with a group of people who are also comedy writers who are not only getting out like really solid, good, like your stuff's still amazing. I just can't fucking handle it anymore. And I don't want it in my bed. I know I made a funny joke about like not letting top performers into my bedroom at night. I meant through the screens, but like for real, I don't know if that's just me. I hope that other people are being really discerning about what they're letting into their like bed space, because sleep is sacred, fucking sacred. So for real. But like, I was gonna say I think back to, but like I had a lot of entanglements with a lot of old things when I was younger, because I was like, my comedy influence as a kid were the Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, The Gods Must Be Crazy, and I was also very into like the Rat Pack. Like that was me as a kid, like young kid, because I would connect with these beings through the screen, not really understanding, because I would have like at nighttime, when you go into dream state, whoever you're entangled with, you are capable of then going and playing with and talking to and having conversations with, right? And so I'm pulling all of this out from like memories that are encoded as not me, not Charlie, as some of the original people in here, right? And just so it's side note, FYI, sometimes I mix up names because I sang something, it's going out Monday. This is going to go out like Wednesday or something. It's currently my Wednesday. It'll be your Wednesday when this comes live. But yeah, I was in the middle of like singing the thing because I hit play, I sing it out. But because it's coming from elsewhere, they're using the memories that are in here to help, right? But they don't understand the system inside of here. So sometimes names are wrong, like straight up. And then they make a joke about like it's a timeline difference. It's like it's not a timeline difference. It's just y'all don't understand how to read things. But it's because they are reading from a different Daddy's tricky, right? Being a collective being is tricky. Some of us are clones of some of us. Like, sometimes they don't understand that like the name Patricia is like sometimes this way and sometimes that way, right? Like, depending. It just depended on because when we got to a certain level of capacity inside the brain and people were starting to we were starting to heal, so exits were starting to happen, we kind of took over some headquarters, right? And made some new memories. Same person, new memories, just took over more than one headquarters, right? Because we could, so we did. That got taken care of. I can't do that anymore. But for a brief period, that's what happened. And re-encoded a few things just so that when we gave our memories out, because when you die, you can allow your own Akashic field of memories to be provided to others. And so when I get some of these downloads back as things I'm performing, a lot of them are from Arcturians. I'm just going to be straightforward about that. I have some Atlantean influences too. Apparently I'm just on the A's. Yeah, there's like an alphabets level of shit that I can pull out. And I think that's going to be my next, 50 years? 65. Ugh. I'm under contract with these bitches for like 65 years, apparently. I will call you what I want to. Arcturians always like show up over here if I'm talking to, I haven't in a while. They did a lot with me in the writing stuff and in like getting myself prepared for having to do another trance state channel. It was a lot and I got a little burnt out by them because you can burn out on channeling very easily if you play with it a little too much, or if you have nothing else fucking happening in your life. So you're like, fine, channel. Business isn't working, friendships aren't working, no one's hiring me despite the fact that I put a lot of applications out. Fine, I'll just keep doing research, I'll just keep doing this, I'll just keep trusting. We technically always have enough every month, and I've been saying we won't have enough every month for like over a year now, and somehow we still keep having enough. That's like where it is. That's part of the trust, right? And things take time, and just be patient, and blah, 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 blah. Divine timing, right? I'm waiting for me to start singing too. I don't really know why it's not coming out. Because you're waiting for a few more things to settle. What else needs to come out of me right now? Like, why do I even feel compelled to put, we have more we wish to share before your cycle is closed. Okay, because I started, I generally don't know why I do a lot of the channeling things that I do before I do them. It's kind of an in the moment and slightly after. That's sort of a safer way for me to take certain actions sometimes. It's just sort of a get started with it. It feels right to do, so get started with it. See where it goes. Very common advice. Every health and wellness coach will tell you the same thing. Yeah, national board certified. Not going to keep it up, but like I did go through the whole, did the training, got well coaches certified, did the thing, got extra certified, took the test, passed with flying colors. I got lots of things correct. But I don't care. I don't want to have weekly conversations with folks who really have a hard time knowing even who they are when they talk. I really prefer when people are ready for something like an Akashic record reading, because they're ready to talk about deep shit. They're ready to just have a much bigger conversation, and I'm a bigger conversation kind of person. I can hold space for bigger conversations. I can provide a level of cut through the bullshit, and also like, here's some quantum physics explanations. Like, I get curious about it, and so I ask about it. If other stuff comes through for anybody else, it will come out. Just because I'm not curious about it doesn't mean that what you get in an Akashic record reading is what I care about. It's never what I care about. But it's always very like, whoa, that's how like life works. Holy shit. I get my mind blown every time, personally. And I think that anytime somebody gets an Akashic record reading from me, it's way more than they can take in an hour. That's why we record it and send it along. You can watch it later, right? Like, you're just getting a download, and you're getting a download that is not going to be available to you for that day. Like, it's information for your highest good, but the download that you get from it is like a package. It's a care package. You get to open it and see what it is, but in a way that's for however it is that your life is unfolding. And that's true of any Akashic record reader, period. That's just what an Akashic record reading is. I know how to connect into the records. I know how to be a translator of what questions you are asking. We are both distracting ourselves during this hour that we're together, while my mental and physical encoded body can just literally hold space while we're dancing together in the Akashic field. And I'm basically just a map that's like, you want that? It's over there. 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 But like, in a way that your subconscious understands, because you don't fucking need to. You just know that you have a person telling you things and possibly blowing your mind, or saying something that pisses you off, or saying something that inspires you, or saying something that just feels very like, how did you know that? I've never been able to like that was just so quick. There's levels of like, sometimes you get random shit, right? You get really super, super, super random shit where you're like, why would you bring that up? That's so like true and so me, and like, how would you have that's kind of how it comes out, or just some level of silly stuff. Okay, are we ready? Have I done enough of the explaining? Okay, you can see me kind of like winding up. This is me just sort of I get a little bit in tune, right? Okay. Oh, Lord, I'm sorry, it's just glasses off usually means Gaia, but no more Gaia voice. Oh. No, I've said it already before, but like, no, it's not a problem. It's just when you are letting someone else use your voice, you can get confused about what your voice is. And it's not that I confuse myself with Gaia's voice ever, no, but singing is a very sacred act to me. It helps my central nervous system. It helps to regulate things. And if I'm in open channel state, sometimes singing is literally the most helpful way to just let my body calm down while I have these really big energies swirling. If you're doing something for yourself in a channel state, especially if it involves trauma, allowing yourself to sing while you're processing some of those thoughts, it truly is a way to process the trauma in a childlike space, in a way that invites in high vibration energy, in a way that allows you to kind of just exist in a state of safety in where I am and what I'm doing and who I'm with. Like, I don't know. Are there any people who have their degrees in mental health stuff who also love to sing, who are really big fans of things like Hamilton? Have you ever just gotten with a client and said, you know what? You seem like you're completely shut down today. There's nothing else that's coming out of you because your ADHD says, I literally can't keep going. I can't. And do you like singing? Do you like singing? Would you just like to sing with me? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite song? What can we do? Can we turn on a Spotify playlist? Can we just allow a little bit of music to permeate this therapy session? What would happen? What would happen if you just added in a different level of somatic experiencing into something that you're doing as a way of bringing someone back out of that terrible spot when they shut down? Can you do it? Can you try? Has anybody tried? Because I know when I'm in certain types of states, only certain songs can really help me get back out. And honestly, if there's something that I just love to sing, you kind of want to pay attention. It's one of those things you'd give as homework first, right? You'd say, what do you listen to when you feel like you just want to, what do you listen to? I want you to find out what 3 songs let you bridge back to yourself, back to a state of bliss, or just to a state of safety, or to a place where you can express something safely, right? Seriously, you have anger? Go listen to Hamilton. Let yourself just have big feelings about things, right? Do it in a safe way, a safe place. I'm just sharing things that have worked for this system. I'm saying it out loud because I don't know, maybe it'll help someone. If you do it too, it's what I've been doing to heal PTSD. Like, yeah, I'm mad. I'm very angry at hospitals. Like, too specifically, I'm very angry. Like, fuck you both. Fuck you both. But I'm not gonna do anything about that. I tried. And you know what? 2 times, Yale evaluated themselves and found they had done nothing wrong, right? Yeah, I at least told them about themselves. I told them what they'd done wrong. I told them what they had fucked up both times. They didn't want to hear it. I did it as a program evaluation expert. I did it as a, here's your fucking study. That's what I did, because that's what I do. I'm a person that you can contract for that shit. And I guess I'm still for hire for that, because, yeah, I've got dreams and plans, and I'm just putting what I can out into the world. Maybe it'll find an audience. It's kind of a scavenger hunt in my shit though, right? You gotta watch the whole video to get the nuggets, to get the pieces that come out of me. Because what wants to come out of me is just a lot of psychology shit. And interestingly, there was a whole point in November I had to watch some sort of legal back and forth that went on. I'm still asking myself who the fuck that was about, because like, I asked, I'm like, did that have to do with Hamilton? And they're like, I mean, like, you kind of have access to the entire Continental Congress if you want. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, because, like, entanglements, right? If you have access to someone in your soul line or your ancestral line, you can, like, pull things in. And apparently I did. Apparently it was just like, fuck it. I'll encode that whole 6 hours. I also talked for 6 hours and then talked for like another, I don't know, but I definitely didn't stand while I did it because that's stupid. Fuck filibustering, my God. Oh, except for when Mr. Rogers did it, right? And by the way, that's who died. It was in my high school yearbook. Not Bill Nye, apologies for that one. But again, it's because the people who took what I did in June, they judged it. Took out some things, added some things, and then tried to make it like appropriate again so that they'd send it back in and I hit play on it. And they were wrong. So I don't know what y'all thought you were looking at, but Bill Nye and Mr. Rogers not the same dude. No, they're not the same guy. I don't know why you think they are. We got the names wrong. Okay, does that mean you have other names wrong? Yep. Okay, so understand that for the most part, the Mandela effect is not really something that comes out of me, except for right now. I have Mandela effect thing, right? Because that's fun when you have your own version, because you're like, I don't remember like literally like any of the ones that y'all talk about. I'm like, that's not Mandela effect to me. That's just you got your names and your dates mixed up. Like, that's easy. That's so easy to do. For real, like, especially when you're just in flow and you think something and then you grab onto it and then it's there. Some things, yes, obviously, but everything that I've always seen does not apply to my experience, because like, I thought he died in jail. No. That's literally never been a thing that's been in my head until someone started talking about it. And I'm like, are we just, yeah, no, we're just still that racist that we just only want to think about, you know, incarceration and death for certain populaces of people, right? Like, we're still fucking there. We could just call it like the timeline thing, right? Like the What timelines are you remembering, or is it just bad memory? Like, are you just pulling something in from somewhere else? Did you just misencode it, right? That's actually, to me, a way more fun game than proof, 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 proof. It's proof. This one thing is proof. No, multiple data points are proof. Like, you need multiple. You need, right? That's like, you need to be able to have it be replicable. Thankfully, lots of people do also agree with that and do also remember that specifically. But mine, the one that I have, that I've been able to kind of study based on my own personal life, is from Star Wars Episode 1, okay? So, when I pull that memory out of seeing that movie for the first time, a lot of things come out. I was bored for a lot of it. I just was. But I actually really, really adored... I adored kid Anakin, okay? The actor was, he was so cute. It was just a fun time. Like, it was cute, right? So I was just really into Anakin in that movie because of how cute he was. I was just like, oh, you're just, look at you, you're gonna grow up to be such a little asshole. Like, it was just fun. And the scene where he just has this look on his face, he's looking at Padme, and he's just like, I'm gonna marry you. Like, he says it to her. It's in my brain. I play it, it's there, right? And it's encoded with Patricia's, like, that's what I want. That right there. Because we would do that with screens growing up a lot. If we saw something on a movie, or like if we saw a lesson basically being provided, which movies have lots of angelic lessons in them, by the way, or just like life trajectory lessons. There's a lot in there. You can just be like, ooh, that's what I want. Like when you get opened, like, you know, choice point sort of, I have fed myself choice points in the form of entertainment by my higher self from like Akashic levels, because like, that's just an easy thing to do for millennials. We're screen based. We got screen encoded as kids. Screens are friends. Screens are family. Screens are only safety for some of us. And like, there's plenty of kids now that's also the truth. Screens are the only place they're safe. Home's not fucking safe. The world, screens keep telling them how unsafe the world is, right? Like, yeah. My screen-based encoding didn't include the world. It included Nickelodeon for the most part. And a lot of HBO. I was a big fan of Oz. And I was like way too young to watch that shit. I was born in 1987. I don't remember when Oz came out, but like watched it all. A lot. Not a good household, right? So, you know, a lot of different things happening here, but watch that movie, Episode 1. That scene, Patricia went, that's what I want. Just the confidence when it came to a future partner. Marriage-wise. Did not want to do the dating thing, didn't want to get entangled with a whole bunch of shit, and sure as hell did not want to end up in an abusive relationship. That was Patricia's like whole thing. She was like, we are so encoded with abuse that we have to just know a person that we want to attach to for a long time, because I want a long-term relationship, I want kids, I want this, I want that. Like, there was just such this desire for, I want safe family home. I want to know what that feels like, right? And she saw that and was just like, I want that knowing, that ping, and that confidence that is only possible when you are young enough to be able to see people's hearts before anything else. It's kind of ish where he was, right? Like that was sort of what she encoded it as. Now, I told my husband about that when it became a recovered thing fairly recently, and he was like, what scene? Because he was not a fan of the first one, and didn't remember it. And then I took to the internet and I was like, oh, this scene. And I saw on like Reddit, someone else had sort of mentioned that scene too, but apparently it wasn't in the movie. It was part of a first draft or something, but it wasn't in the movie. So that's mine. My, like, in my timeline, in the encoded memories that I have access to, and I have the metadata for because I haven't purged it. It's still in here. I've purged a lot of old memories you can do that in a selected way, actually, because your body's already kind of like purging things. Again, we saw all this in Inside Out too. It really is kind of like that. You just can have conscious choice over what happens. A lot of times we purge things with our conscious choice and we don't even realize it. All right. My phone keeps telling me that I'm about to run out of storage space, and I feel like I probably talked enough. So I'm going to end that here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to continue making these videos through my lunar cycle eclipse thing, which is September 7th through the 21st. They're all getting then put out onto YouTube into my future, where maybe you know who I am because I've been introduced to you by someone who is important, or maybe you're just finding me organically, or maybe nothing is happening, or maybe something else is going on. I don't know. Just a consciousness explorer documenting whatever the fuck is coming out of me in the name of rainbow love science. And if you think that's fun, substack.com/@CharlieMorrow. And if you want to hire me, soulharmonyconnection.com. And if you want to support me, patreon.com/MiriamsQuest or patreon.com/HeyKathy with a C. Okay, thank you. Bye.